Students, in this video, I am going to discuss BigM method and two-phase method. In previous video, we have already discussed about the artificial variable. What is artificial variable and what is the purpose of artificial variable? Whenever we are using equality type constraint or greater than type constraint, then in general we have seen that we don't have initial basis, so that we can apply simplex method. So in that case, generally whenever we are having equality constraint, then we add another variable x5, for example here, which is known as an artificial variable. Similarly, whenever we are having greater than type inequality, we first subtract some amount which is known as surplus variable, and then immediately add another variable which is known as artificial variable. Here x5 may be represented as a1, x6 may be represented by a2, where a1 and a2 both will be artificial variable. Herein we have used only x5 and x6, but you may also use a1 and a2, so that we can easily identify that a1 and a2 both are artificial variables. Okay, so in general we have to use a symbol for artificial variables. So whenever we use artificial variable, then we have two methods. One is BigM method and another one is two-phase method. They are basically the variant of simplex method. So let's see how we can apply the BigM method. So BigM method is this. So here we have taken the same problem, this problem, minimum z is equal to 2x1 plus x2, subjected to 3x1 plus x2 is equal to 3, 4x1 plus 3x2 is greater than equal to 6, and x1 plus 2x2 is less than equal to 3, and x1 x2 both are greater than equal to 0. So what we will do, first we will interchange this minimum as maximum. So let's see how we can convert the problem into standard form. So first we will convert this problem into maximization. So maximum of say z star, this is equals to minus 2x1 minus x2, subjected to the constraint is this. So since we will not have initial basis, we have already seen, so we will add artificial variable a1 is equal to 3. Second, a1, and in this example we have written this as x5, but you may convert this as a1, no problem. Okay, so let's see, we will x5, but you may also use it as a1. Similarly, here we have used x6, but you may use it as a2. Okay, so here is first constraint. Now the second constraint, 4x1 plus 3x2 minus x3 plus a2 is equal to 6. Here x1 plus 2x2 plus x4 is equals to 3, where x1, x2, x3, x4, a1 and a2 all are greater than equal to 0. These are artificial variable. Okay, and x3 is surplus variable and x4 is slack variable. Okay, so these are the difference. In our case, we have used, in place of a1 we have used x5, here we have used x6, but I suggest that you should use a1 and a2. Okay, let's see. Now since we have additionally added a1 and a2 only to start the simplex method, that's why whenever we are framing this problem, whenever we are using artificial variable, then and you are applying BigM method, then you have to impose some penalty here. You have to impose a penalty because you have artificially added some variables which is not the part of this programming problem, but you have artificially added, so you have to pay some amount, and this is called the penalty. So now we will introduce the penalty in the objective function always. So first convert the problem into maximization. So now the problem is maximization. Now impose the penalty, and obviously penalty is in the negative sense always. If you are following, for example, you are minimizing something, then your penalty will impose you in the negative direction. That means plus some amount. Similarly, if you are want to maximize something, then your penalty will decrease you. That means minus. So here, since our problem is maximization, so we will impose the penalty, so negative sense. So negative sense, that means increasing. This is for the maximization, and we will impose the penalty in the negative sense. Here the minimization, and impose the penalty in positive sense. Okay, so here this is the maximization, so your penalty should be in negative sense. So minus, and what is the penalty? Penalty is basically minus m into sum of artificial variables. Let's see, we will write down herein. So this will be basically the maximum z star is equals to minus 2x1 minus x2 minus m. What is the artificial? A1 and A2. So their sum, A1 plus A2. So this is equal to minus 2x1 minus x2 minus m. Now you can find out the A1 plus A2 from these two constraints. Just add. So A1 plus A2, just add these two constraints. So what you will have after addition? 3 plus 4 is 7x1. x2 plus 3x2, 4x2 minus x3 plus A1 plus A2 is equals to 9. And from here you can find out x1 plus x2, which is nothing but 9 minus 7x1 minus 4x2 plus x3. Okay, and so this thing is written here. 9 minus 7x2 minus 4x2. Now combine this x1 and x1, so we get 7m minus 2x1 plus combine x2, this x2, 4m minus 1x2, then x3 multiply by this, so minus mx3. There is no artificial variable, so 0 0, and last mein minus 9m. Okay, here x4 means what? A1. Okay, in our case. ठीक. Okay, now this take x1, x2, x3 term in the left hand side. So we get z star minus 7m minus 2x1 minus 4m minus 1x2 plus mx3 is equals to minus 9m. Okay, and then write down the constraints. So these are the constraints. Herein, in our case, we are having A1. This is our A2. Fine. So now write down the first constraint. This coefficient of x1 is 3, coefficient of x2 is 1, coefficient of A1 is 1, and rest are 0, so 0 0 0. Similarly, second constraint, 4 3 minus 1, and there is A2 or x6 is 1, so that's why 1 here, and rest are 0. Similarly, in the third constraint, here the coefficient of x1 is 1, coefficient of x2 is 2, coefficient of x4 means A1 is 0 1, and rest are 0. Okay, and values are 3 6 and 3, so 3 6 and 3. Then here we have x5, x6 or x4. So in case of in our case, here we have A1, here we have A2. Okay, so this is the table. Now similarly write down the z row. So z rows is minus 7m minus 2, coefficient of x2 is minus 4m minus 1, and then m, and rest are 0, so 0 0 0. Right hand side is minus 9m minus n, and this is z star. So this is our initial table. Now here m is basically a very large number, positive large number, not identify. Hence we can say that this term is the most negative one. So x1 enters the basis. Now find out the leaving variable among these. All the values are positive. So now find the minimum ratio. So minimum ratio is 3 by 3, 6 by 4, 3 by 1. That means 3 by 3, 6 by 4, 3 by 1. So minimum is 1, which is associated with 3. So this is our pivot element, and that's why x5 or A1 will leave in the basis. Then divide the first row by 3 and then take the calculation. Just we have done in the simplex method. सबको 0 0 0 बनाना है. So After computation we have this table. So x5 leave the basis and x1 enters the basis. So this is our revised table. ओके तो पहले हम यहाँ पे 1 बना लेंगे, फिर उसकी हेल्प से, उस रो की हेल्प से यहाँ पर भी 0 बनाना है. इसका मतलब फर्स्ट रो में 4 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. दैट मीन्स ये कैसा आया होगा, R2 डैश सेकेंड रे इज R2 माइनस 4 ऑफ पहले आया होगा R1 डैश. R1 डैश में हमने क्या किया होगा, R1 डिवाइडेड बाय 3 ये किया होगा, हमने 3 से डिवाइड किया होगा तो 1 बन गया होगा. यहाँ ये पूरी रो है. देन फिर हमने क्या किया, 4 से मल्टीप्लाई किया. सो R2 माइनस 4 ऑफ R1 डैश. दैट मीन्स इसमें 4 से मल्टीप्लाई किया और इससे सब्ट्रैक्ट किया, ये यहाँ लिख दिया. देन R3 डैश इज बेसिकली R3 माइनस R1 डैश. ओके यहाँ 1 है क्योंकि, सो डायरेक्टली सब्ट्रैक्ट किया एंड देन राइट डाउन हियर. एंड देन Z स्टार रो अपडेटेड इज बेसिकली Z स्टार रो माई प्लस 7m माइनस 2 of R1 dash. ये ऑपरेशन लगाए होंगे and then finally we get this table. Okay, now among this row again you can see that this is the most negative one, hence x2 enters the basis. Now find out the leaving variable, for which find out the ratio. From here we get 3, from here we get 6 by 5, from here we get 6 by 5, and among these you can see that we will get the minimum ratio x6 by 5 which is associated with x6 and x4 both. There is a tie, hence this is a case of degeneracy. Degeneracy हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था, so this is a case of degeneracy. And since we know that x6 is an artificial variable, among these two x6 is the artificial variable. So first we will, however we can take any one of them, but x6 is an artificial variable, so we have to give preference to the artificial variable. तो जब भी tie होगा, for example, we have to always prefer artificial variable. हम आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल को प्रीफर करेंगे और उसको बेसिस से निकालेंगे. ओके, सो इन दिस केस x6 विल लीव द बेसिस एंड देन दिस इज आवर पिवोट एलिमेंट. सो नाउ मल्टीप्लाई दिस रो बाय 3 by 5. 3 by 5 से मल्टीप्लाई किया, सो वी गेट दिस रिवाइज टेबल. दिस इज R2 डैश. ओके, फिर यहां पर 1 by 3 है, यहां पर 1 है. सो व्हाट वी विल डू, we will do that R1 dash is R1 minus 1 by 3 of R2 dash. ये इस इक्वेशन में 1 by 3 से मल्टीप्लाई किया, 1 by 3 से, and then subtract from R1. So ultimately we get this. Similarly here R3 dash, here you can see here is 5 by 3, here is 5. So directly subtract. So we can say that R3 minus R2. I am not using dash because I am taking this row. So just directly subtract and write down here in. Similarly here is 5m this. So Z star row is nothing but Z star minus plus 1 by 3 5m minus 1 and R2 dash. Okay, इस रो में 5m minus 1 by 3 से multiply किया and then add in Z row. So we get this table and you can see that herein there is no negative value, because m is a very positive value. So this is positive, all are positive. So optima reaches and solution is x1 is equal to 3 by 5, x2 is 6 by 5 and maximum z is minus 12 by 5. But our problem is minimization. So that's why minimum of z is minus maximum z star. So 12 by 5. So 12 by 5 is the solution. So this is big M method. Fine. Now we have some note points. If an artificial variable is at a positive level in the optimum basis, then LPP has no solution. That means at this stage, when there is no negative value herein, but at the same time here we have some artificial variable, then solution will be infeasible. And this is the case of fourth case. Special case क्या क्या पढ़े थे हमने? Degeneracy हमने पढ़ा था, unbounded solution and alternate optima. वहाँ इनफिजिबल सॉल्यूशन नहीं पढ़ा था. दिस इज द इनफिजिबल फेज. दैट मीन यहाँ कोई निगेटिव वैल्यू नहीं होगी, बट एट द सेम टाइम यहाँ आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल होगा, सो सॉल्यूशन विल बी इनफिजिबल. ओके, दिस इज रिटन हियर. नाउ द सेकेंड, इफ आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल इज एट अ जीरो लेवल इन द ऑप्टिमम बेसिस, देन द सॉल्यूशन इज डिजेनरेट एंड द सॉल्यूशन ऑफ द LPP does exist. If artificial will be at zero level, for example here ये जीरो लेवल है एंड दिस सपोज दिस इज x4 इज एन स्लैक वेरिएबल ओके, बट यहाँ अगर x5 होता फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ सपोज x5 यहाँ होता या a1 यहाँ होता, बट a1 की वैल्यू 0 है यहाँ, तो इनफिजिबल सॉल्यूशन नहीं होता, डीजनरेट सॉल्यूशन होता. फाइन, दिस इज द मीनिंग. थर्ड वन, इफ एन आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल इज आउट ऑफ द बेसिस देन इट शुड नॉट एंटर द बेसिस अगेन. अगर कोई आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल एक बार बेसिस से निकल गया तो वो दोबारा एंटर नहीं होगा. ओके, this is the meaning. So these are the three note points. Let us see another example. Example number 2. Here we have maximum z is equal to 5x1 minus 4x2 plus 3x2 subjected to 2x1 plus x2 minus 6x3 is equal to 20. Then 6x1 plus 5x2 plus 10x3 is less than equal to 76, and 8x1 minus 3x2 plus 6x3 is less than equal to 50. x1, x2, x3 is greater than equal to 0. Okay, so first what we will do, because here is equality, so we have to add artificial variable here. So 2x1 plus x2 minus 6x3 plus a1 is equal to 20. Here is less than type inequality, so just add surplus slack variable x4. So 6x1 plus 5x2 plus 10x3 plus x4 is equal to 76. Here in the third one again add another slack variable x5. So 8x1 minus 3x2 plus 6x3 plus x5 is equal to 50. And then x1, x2, x4, x5 and a1 all are greater than equal to 0, where a1 is artificial variable and x4 and x5 are slack variable. Now objective function is this. So impose the penalty term here. This is already in maximization problem. So maximum z is 55x1 minus 4x2 plus 3x2 minus m and sum of artificial variable. Artificial variable we have only one artificial, so that's why minus m a1, and just substitute the value of a1 from the first constraint herein. So minus m into this is from the first constraint. Okay, and then after simplification we get this 2m plus 5x1 plus m minus 4x2 plus minus 6m plus 3x2 3 0x4 0x5 minus 20m, and then construct the table. Then construct the table, which is this. So first row, second row, third constraint, and this is the z row. Now among these you will see that this is the most negative one. This is the most negative one, and hence x1 enters the basis. Okay, x1 enters the basis, and then find out the minimum ratio, which is 20 by 2, 76 by 6 and 50 by 8. All are positive. That's why, and this is nothing but 6.25, which is associated with this, and hence x5 will leave the basis. And then first divide this row by 8, so we get this row. 8 से डिवाइड किया इसको तो ये आ गया. अब इस पिवोट की हेल्प से यहाँ भी जीरो बनाना है, यहाँ भी जीरो बनाना है, यहाँ भी, एंड वी हैव टू अप्लाई ओनली रो ऑपरेशंस. केवल रो ऑपरेशन लगेंगे. ओके, तो इसमें हम क्या करेंगे, यहाँ जीरो बनाना है तो 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, दैट मीन्स पूरी रो में 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, एंड देन सब्ट्रैक्ट फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट रो, सो वी गेट दिस रो. ओके, यहाँ भी जीरो बनाना है, सो 6, यहाँ 1 है, सो जस्ट मल्टीप्लाई दिस रो बाय 6 एंड देन सब्ट्रैक्ट फ्रॉम द सेकेंड रो, वी गेट दिस रो. ओके, सिमिलरली हियर वी हैव 2m प्लस 5 माइनस, सो जस्ट मल्टीप्लाई दिस रो बाय 2m प्लस 5 और इस रो में ऐड किया, सो वी गेट दिस टर्म. Now in this row you can see that here is a negative term because m is a very positive large number, so x2 enters the basis. Now find out the leaving variable, for which we need to find out the minimum ratio. Now you can see that among these three, one is the negative one, so we will not consider this one, we will consider only these two to form the minimum ratio. So minimum ratio is, from this we get 30 by 7, from this we get 14. So the minimum ratio is 30 by 7, which is associated with this, hence a1 will leave the basis, and then a1 will leave and x2 enters, so x2 x4 x1, and then इस यहाँ पर 1 बनाना है, so 4 by 7 से मल्टीप्लाई करा देते हैं, so we get this row, और फिर उसकी हेल्प से यहाँ 0 यहाँ 0 यहाँ 0 बनाएंगे, कैलकुलेशन करेंगे, so we get this row, and hence we can say that there is no negative term, so optima reaches. Solution is x1 is 55 by 7, x2 is 30 by 7 and x3 is 0, and maximum z is 155 by 7. This is the solution. Okay, so this is the basically the big M method. Okay, I wish you understand the method. Okay, now in the next we have two phase method. What is two phase? So basically in two phase we will impose we will not impose any penalty term. Rather than in place of that we will converted the method into two phases. First phase and second phase. That's why the name is two phase. Okay, in first phase we will basically deal with the sum of artificial variable. That means this thing we will deal the thing, this part we will deal only this part. We will not multiply by m, we will deal with this penalty. Penalty is nothing but the sum of artificial variable. Okay, this is done in the first phase. In the second phase we will use our original objective function. Let's see the example. Suppose we have taken this problem, minimum z is equal to 4x1 plus 2x2, subjected to x1 plus x2 is less than equal to 4, x1 plus 2x2 is greater than equal to 2, x1 is less than equal to 3, x2 is less than equal to 3, x1 x2 is greater than equal to 0. This is our problem. So first we will rewrite the constraints, introducing the necessary slack and artificial variables. So here first constraint we have add x3, so x1 plus x2 plus x3 is equals to 4. In the second constraint we add surplus variable, that means minus x4, and then immediately add artificial variable which is denoted by here x7. x7 is artificial variable. Okay. Here we have to add another surplus slack variable, x1 plus x5 is equal to 3. In the fourth constraint we have to add another slack variable, say x6. So here x6. Okay, so we have x3, x5, x6, these are slack variable, x4 is the surplus variable, and x7 is the artificial variable. Okay, then we have phase 1. In phase 1, basically in phase 1, for solving an auxiliary LPP, that means the given LPP, minimizing the sum of all artificial variables subject to the given constraint irrespective of all the original problem, being maximization or minimization. यानी कि original problem चाहे maximum की हो या minimum की हो, in this phase we have to always minimize. हमें हमेशा ही minimize करनी है, problem चाहे maximum हो या minimum हो, हमें इससे कोई ध्यान नहीं रखना. Okay, we have to minimize the penalty, and here penalty is nothing but the sum of artificial variables. Okay, this is basically the sum of artificial variable. ये यहाँ पर है sum of artificial variables. Okay, but in case you can see that in our case we have used only one artificial variable x7, that's why here we have only x7. ठीक, now this is the minimization problem. Okay, so just converting this into standard form. So maximum of u star, which is nothing but minus x7, और x7 की वैल्यू वहाँ से कैलकुलेट कर लेंगे. So this is nothing but minus 2x1 minus 2x2 plus x4. So this will be u star minus x1 minus 2x2 plus x4 is equal to minus 2. Fine, and these are the constraints, so they are written also herein. And now convert the simplex table just like we have done earlier. So now the variables are x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, x7. And then from first constraint 1 1 1, so 1 1 1, there is no x4, x5, x6, so that's why 0 0 0. Right hand side is 4, so 4. Now the second constraint is this, coefficient of x1 is 1, coefficient of x2 is 2, coefficient of x3 will be 0, coefficient of x4 will be minus 1, there is no x5, x6, so that's why 0 0. x7 is 1, so 1. Right hand side is 2, so 2. Now the third constraint 1, corresponding to x1 we have 1, corresponding to x5 we have 1, and rest are 0. Right hand side is 3, so 3. Last one x2 and x6, so coefficient of x2 is 1, coefficient of x6 is 1, and rest are 0, and right hand side is 3. Now among these identify the identity matrix. So this is the first column of identity matrix 1 0 0 0, so which is associated with this, so x3. Second column is this, so x7. Third column is this, so x5, and the fourth column is x6, so x6. And now u star z star rho, which is this, so my coefficient of x1 is minus 1, coefficient of x2 is minus 2, coefficient of x3 is 0, coefficient of x4 is 1, and rest are 0, and right hand side is minus 2, so minus 2. So now among this, now go in U star row, and here you can see that this is the most negative one. So that's why x2 enters the basis. So x2 enters the basis. Now find out the leaving variable for only positive values. So here we have, this is positive, this is positive. We will not consider this 0 and 1. So we will not consider 0 and negative values. You know that. So we will construct the minimum ratio with the help of 1, 2 and 1 only. And among these three, minimum ratio occurs for this 2, and hence x7 leave the basis and x2 enters the basis. So that this is our revised, and then perform the calculation. So we get this revised table. Now in this U star row, you can see that there is no negative value. Hence, for this table, optima reaches. So this is the end of phase 1. Now we will move to the phase 2. Now remember here, if at anyhow there is no zero amount here, an artificial variable is still there, then we will not have any feasible solution, infeasible. यानी कि phase 1 के end में यहाँ जीरो आ जाना चाहिए, फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. सेकेंड, यहाँ आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल नहीं होना चाहिए. फाइन. सो दिस इज द इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. नाउ वी हैव द फेज नंबर 2. इन फेज नंबर 2 में हम क्या करेंगे? फेज नंबर 2 में, ये फेज 1 की टेबल है, इसमें से आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल का जो कॉलम था उसको हम हटा देंगे. x7, इन आवर केस x7 वाज द आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल. तो ये टेबल, ये नेक्स्ट फेज 2 में इसको हटा देंगे, डिलीट कर देंगे इसको. देयर इज नो नीड टू राइट डाउन दिस. फर्स्ट पॉइंट. सेकंड, ये हटाएंगे यहां से यू स्टार रो, और इसकी जगह एक्चुअल ऑब्जेक्टिव फंक्शन. एक्चुअल ऑब्जेक्टिव फंक्शन क्या था हमारा? ये इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे. ओके. सो इन दिस, सो अवर मिनिमाइजेशन इज दिस प्रॉब्लम. एक्चुअल 4x1 plus 2x2, this is our actual. So convert this into maximization. So maximum z star is equal to minus 4x1 minus 2x2. Okay, and then we will add this in the our constraint. So here is this. So now the optimum basis of the phase 1 is starting BFS. तो अब मैं उसको रख देता हूं यहां. ओके, दिस यहां रखते हैं इन दिस टेबल यहां. तो जब हम रखेंगे तो जो टेबल बन के आएगी यहां. सो द ऑप्टिमम बेसिस ऑफ द फेज 1 इज द स्टार्टिंग BFS ऑफ फेज 2. यानी ये जो था हमारा, ये स्टार्टिंग BFS है. तो स्टार्टिंग BFS है और फेज 2 एक्सक्लूडिंग द आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल, दैट इज ओनली x7 इज अवर एग्जाम्पल. यहाँ केवल x7 था तो उसको हटा दिया हमने, x7 लिखा ही नहीं. सिंस x2 इज अ बेसिक वेरिएबल, इन दिस टेबल यू कैन सी x2 इज अ बेसिक वेरिएबल. तो जब आप लिखेंगे तो यहाँ आप क्या लिखेंगे? यहाँ आप लिखेंगे ये. तो इसकी जगह क्या, यहाँ पर क्या आ जाएगा? अगर मैं इसी में इंट्रोड्यूस करूँ यहाँ, यह आएगा -4. सो रिवाइज टेबल में यहाँ -4 आएगा, यह आएगा -2, और बाकी सब 0 0 0 0. ये कॉलम ही खत्म हो जाएगा. एंड हियर विल वी हैव z स्टार एंड देन z स्टार. तो ये कॉलम हटा दिया और इस रो की जगह ये वाली रो लिखी. तो यू कैन सी दैट हियर वी हैव -2, जबकि x2 इज अ बेसिक वेरिएबल. सो हियर शुड बी अ 0, यहाँ 0 हो जाना चाहिए. तो उसको हम करेंगे, और उसको आफ्टर कैलकुलेशन हम क्या करेंगे? इस रो को 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे एंड देन ऐड इन z स्टार रो. यहाँ ऐड कर लेंगे, इसमें 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, और इस नई रिवाइज, तो इसको ऐसे लिख सकते हैं. जो टेबल आएगी वो ऐसी आएगी. यू विल सी हियर इज द बेसिस, दिस इज फेज 2. फेज 2, हियर वी हैव बेसिस, हियर वी हैव वैल्यू, हियर वी हैव x1 x2 x3 x4 and x5 and x6. Fine. We have this table. Now copy this part as it is same here. So x3 x2 x5 x6. Here we have 3 1 3 2, half half 1 minus half, 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 0, half 0 0, minus half 0 0, then 0 1 0, half 0 1, and here we have to impose z star, which is nothing but 0, -4, -2 and 0 0 0. This is our phase 2 starting table. Okay. Now यहाँ से हमने x7 हटाया और z स्टार. Now you can see that x2 is a basic variable. This column should be 0 1 0 0 0 होना चाहिए यहाँ. So हमने क्या किया, इसमें 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, इसमें ऐड करेंगे. जब इसमें 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, इसमें ऐड करेंगे, सो बेसिकली वी विल हैव दिस टेबल. ये टेबल हमारे पास आएगी. ओके, जो टेबल हमारे पास आ जाएगी, दिस इज, यू कैन सी दैट नाउ आइडेंटिफाई negative value. There is no negative value, so optima reaches. Solution is x2 is 1, x3 is 3, so x and x1 is 0. So x1 is 0, x2 is 1. So the solution is -2. So Z star is -2. So this is basically the two-phase method. Okay. Now we have some note points. Note number 1: if in the non-basic variable column in the Z star row is 0, non-basic variable column in the Z star row is 0, then there is an alternate optima. यानी कि यहाँ अगर यहाँ जैसे ये नॉन बेसिक था, अगर यहाँ 0 आ जाए, सो वी गेट अल्टरनेट ऑप्टिमा. और उसके लिए हमने पहले पढ़ा है, इसको एंटर करेंगे और लीव आउट करेंगे, तो वी विल गेट द सेकंड सॉल्यूशन और अनदर सॉल्यूशन. ओके, सो दिस इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस. नाउ द नोट नंबर 2: इफ इन फेज 1 U star in the optimum basis is less than 0, यहाँ in the phase 1 यहाँ U star ये क्वांटिटी लेस देन 0 आ जाए, यानी -5 -2 समथिंग लाइक दैट, और सम आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल यहाँ रहे, देन इन दैट केस एंड सम आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल इज इन द ऑप्टिमम बेसिस, देन डू नॉट गो फॉर फेज 2. द ओरिजिनल एलपीपी हैज नो सॉल्यूशन, कोई सॉल्यूशन नहीं होगा. इफ मैक्सिमम यू स्टार इज 0, जस्ट लाइक दिस, ये 0 है तो 0 हो, एंड सम आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल इज एट द 0 लेवल, फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ, तो सॉल्यूशन एग्जिस्ट करेगा एंड सॉल्यूशन इज डीजनरेट. आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल यहाँ रहे लेकिन ये 0 हो, और आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल का लेवल भी 0 हो, सो डीजनरेट सॉल्यूशन एग्जिस्ट करेगा एंड डीजनरेसी. थर्ड इज इफ मैक्सिमम यू स्टार इज 0 एंड नो आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल इज इन द ऑप्टिमम बेसिस, जस्ट लाइक दिस, यहाँ 0 भी है, कोई आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल भी नहीं है यहाँ, हैंस सॉल्यूशन एग्जिस्ट एंड वी हैव टू मूव फॉर द फेज 2. सो वी विल प्रोसीड फॉर द फेज 2 एंड दिस विल गिव यू द सॉल्यूशन. सो दिस इज द टू फेज मैथड. ओके, एंड हियर तो इंपॉर्टेंट क्या थी, फेज 2 फेज 1 में, पहली फेज 1 ऑब्जेक्टिव फंक्शन रहेगा मिनिमम, ऑलवेज मिनिमम, हमेशा मिनिमम रहेगा, u इज इक्वल टू सम ऑफ आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल्स. फिर इसको सॉल्व करेंगे और ये टेबल लेंगे. जब ये टेबल आ जाएगा लास्ट में, फिर इसमें से फेज 2 में जाएंगे. फेज 2 में क्या करना है, आर्टिफिशियल वेरिएबल का कॉलम को डिलीट कर देना है और यू स्टार की जगह ओरिजिनल जेड स्टार वाला ये जेड स्टार वाला रो डाल देना है, और ये चेक करना है कि कोई भी बेसिक वेरिएबल के नीचे यहाँ 0 हो जाना चाहिए. अगर नहीं है तो वी हैव टू परफॉर्म द कैलकुलेशन एंड देन वी विल डू द रिक्वायर्ड कैलकुलेशन. सो दिस इज फेज 2. सो ओके, थैंक यू.